I have carried your name like a quiet crown inside my chest, heavy and gleaming, unseen by the world, yet ruling every breath I take. And tonight my heart trembles, because silence has finally grown too small to contain you. I speak now not because I am fearless, but because love has made courage unavoidable, and my voice, trained to bow, to wait, to measure, has learned a new language shaped only by you. I was taught to walk gently through halls of expectation, where every step echoed with duty, but you arrived like a secret staircase hidden behind a tapestry, leading me somewhere no one had mapped for me. I did not fall for you loudly. I fell the way dawn enters a room, slowly, respectfully, until suddenly, there is no darkness left to deny. There were nights when I pressed my hand against my heart, as if it were a locked door, whispering to myself that some truths must remain sealed, yet your presence kept knocking with infinite patience. You never demanded entry. You simply stayed, and in that staying I learned what devotion looks like when it does not ask to be seen. I have smiled for cameras and histories, while carrying the weight of unsaid sentences, each one shaped like your name, each one burning softly behind my teeth. The world believes I am composed of ceremony and calm, but they do not know how wildly my pulse answers to the thought of you, how fiercely my soul leans toward yours when no one is watching. You are not the thunder people expect in my story. You are the quiet certainty that arrives after storms, the moment when fear finally loosens its grip. Loving you did not feel like rebellion. It felt like recognition, as if my heart had always been rehearsing for you without knowing the script. I learned to love you in fragments first, in pauses between obligations, in glances stolen from mirrors, in the calm that visited me after speaking with you. Each fragment grew roots, and before I knew it, you were everywhere inside me, shaping the way I understand patience, strength, and gentleness. There is suspense in loving you, not because you are uncertain, but because revealing you means unfolding myself completely. I have been a silhouette for so long that stepping into full light feels like standing at the edge of a cliff, trusting that love will be wings and not empty air. I have asked myself 1,000 times whether my heart was allowed to choose freely, and each time your name answered before my doubts could finish forming. You never tried to rescue me from my world. Instead, you stood beside me, reminding me that even those born into destiny are still human enough to love. When I think of you, my composure softens, as if my soul loosens the laces it has worn too tight. You know how to listen to my silences, how to hear the things I am not permitted to say, and that understanding binds me to you more deeply than any promise spoken aloud. There were moments when I feared loving you would make me smaller, but the opposite happened. You expanded me. With you, I am not only what I must be, I am also what I dream of becoming, when the world finally allows me to breathe without counting. I have guarded this love like a flame in windless hands, knowing how easily it could be misunderstood, misnamed, or claimed by voices that do not know its origin. Yet even in secrecy it has grown luminous, refusing to be diminished by the shadows around it. You are the patience I never learned from books, the bravery I never inherited, the tenderness that arrived without instruction. In your presence, I do not perform, I exist, and that simple miracle feels more royal than any title I will ever carry. I know the world prefers stories with distance, with unattainable figures carved from marble, but my love for you has made me flesh and warmth and longing. I am no longer content to be admired from afar, when my heart has learned how powerful closeness can be. Every time I almost spoke your truth aloud, fear touched my shoulder and reminded me of consequences. Yet love always returned stronger, insisting that some truths are worth trembling for. You are worth every unsteady breath, every moment of suspended courage. If this confession feels slow, it is because it has traveled a long way through restraint and reflection. I did not arrive here impulsively. I arrived here faithfully, step by step, choosing you even when choosing meant waiting. You have seen me without adornment, without applause, without armor, and you stayed. That is how I know this love is not a fantasy born of isolation, but a reality grounded in knowing and being known. Sometimes I imagine the moment when the world finally understands who you are to me, and my heart races not with fear, but with relief. To love you openly feels like stepping into my own voice for the first time. I have practiced saying your truth in whispers, letting it shape my mouth until it feels natural, inevitable. Tonight, those whispers gather into courage, and I let them rise, because hiding you has begun to feel like hiding myself. You are not my escape from duty, you are the reason duty feels bearable, even meaningful. Loving you has taught me that responsibility and desire do not have to be enemies. They can stand together, steady and unafraid. There is romance in this waiting, in this slow unveiling, in the way love has matured rather than rushed. Our story does not beg for attention. It commands respect through its patience and depth. If my voice shakes now, it is only because it has carried so much unsaid love for so long. Each word I offer is polished by restraint and warmed by devotion, and every syllable leans toward you. I am finally ready to let the world know that behind my measured steps and composed gaze lives a heart claimed completely. This is not a scandal, not a fantasy, not a rumor. It is a truth grown strong enough to stand. You are the man my soul recognized before my name ever dared to follow. And this is only the beginning of my revealing. The longer I held you unnamed, the more my heart learned the discipline of devotion, shaping love into something enduring rather than explosive. I discovered that anticipation can be a form of intimacy, that waiting for the right moment to speak can deepen a truth instead of weakening it. And in that waiting, my love for you became unshakable. There were mornings when sunlight brushed my window, and I wondered if it knew about you, if it sensed the warmth you bring into my life, without ever crossing the threshold. I carried myself into the day with practiced grace, yet inside me lived a quiet joy that no ceremony could replicate. I often felt like a story paused mid-sentence, breath held, meaning suspended, because revealing you meant finishing a thought the world was not ready to hear. Still, every pause taught me how deeply I cared, how fiercely my heart resisted forgetting even for a moment. You have never been a distraction, you are my anchor. When the world feels too large, too loud, or too demanding, thinking of you narrows everything into clarity, reminding me who I am when expectation fades and sincerity remains. I have memorized the rhythm of your presence, the way it steadies me even from afar. Loving you feels like standing at a balcony at dusk, watching the sky change colors slowly, knowing night will arrive gently, because patience has prepared the way. Sometimes I wondered if love could survive without witnesses, without celebration, without validation. You taught me that the strongest bonds often grow where no one is looking, rooted in understanding rather than applause. I have learned restraint not as denial, but as devotion. Every time I chose silence, it was not because I doubted you, but because I believed in us enough to protect what we were still becoming. You entered my life without trying to rewrite me, and that alone felt revolutionary. You did not ask me to step away from my path. You walked beside me, matching your pace to mine, respecting the weight I carry. There is a tenderness in knowing someone who sees beyond appearances, who understands that composure can coexist with longing. With you, I do not have to explain why my eyes sometimes hold oceans behind them. You already know. I have held conversations with the moon about you, letting its quiet listen when my voice could not. In those moments, I felt less alone, because love, even unspoken, has a way of answering itself. You are the calm that follows my most difficult days, the reassurance that my heart is not misplaced in wanting more than obligation. Loving you does not weaken my resolve, it humanizes it. Every secret smile I have carried belongs to you. Every softened breath, every private hope, every unguarded moment when I allowed myself to imagine a future shaped by sincerity rather than fear. I once believed that revealing love meant surrendering control, but you taught me that true love refines strength instead of erasing it. With you, I am not unraveling, I am becoming more whole. The suspense in my voice exists because love like this deserves reverence, not haste. I want each word about you to arrive fully formed, carrying the gravity of truth, rather than the noise of impulse. You have waited without pressure, loved without possession, believed without demand. That patience is what makes me brave enough now to let my heart speak louder than caution. There are times when I look at my reflection and recognize someone braver than I was yesterday. Loving you has slowly rewritten my understanding of courage, teaching me that vulnerability is not weakness, but evidence of trust. I feel closest to you in moments of stillness, when nothing is required of me, and I can simply exist in the knowledge that you are there. That quiet connection feels more powerful than any declaration. I have rehearsed this revelation in countless forms, but none felt honest until now. Love ripens when it is ready, and mine has reached the moment where silence would be a betrayal. You are not a chapter I intend to close. You are the continuation I have been protecting. Every choice I have made quietly points toward you, even when the path seemed unclear. Sometimes I fear the world will misunderstand the softness in my devotion, mistaking it for hesitation. They do not know that my love for you is deliberate, chosen daily with unwavering certainty. I have learned that hearts, like crowns, must be worn with care. Loving you has taught me balance, teaching me how to carry both responsibility and desire without letting either fall. If my words sound careful, it is because they are shaped by respect for you, for myself, for the truth we share. This love is not reckless, it is resolute. You are the man my heart leaned toward long before my voice caught up. And with each sentence I offer now, the distance between secrecy and truth grows smaller. I am closer than ever to saying everything, closer than ever to letting the world see what has quietly sustained me. And still my heart pauses, savoring the final moments before complete revelation. This love has never been uncertain, only patient. And patience, I have learned, is the most enduring form of romance.